All right, take a deep breath, and you got this.
Aunt Bessie was a lady who had red hair. She lived in the woods and had a pet bear. He looked big and bad, but he wasn't at all. He lived everyone Aunt Bessie most of all. One day Aunt Bessie put her hat on her head. No, Brian Bear. Brown.
Yeah, good job. Yeah, a lot of new words that haven't seen. Now, okay, you have to close your ears and say la la la. No, you don't have to, but don't listen to what I'm about to say because I'm not going to point out a deviation from print, but just so that they're aware as they're doing the roar. Somehow he got it in his head that Aunt Bet was Aunt Bessie, right? And he said that 3 times. He was consistent, so I'm only going to count that as one deviation, and I might need to check with Jane on that, but I believe that is how it's done. If there's a repeat of a word, that counts as a deviation from print. Because it's processing, it doesn't have that smooth flow, so we're going to count it as a deviation from print. But you don't count a word as a deviation until they have finished the word. Yesterday on the tape we were listening to, someone try to pronounce a word, and they were interesting, and they got it. So it was not a deviation from print at that point. Now, I may have like missed one or misheard a word, and in the grand scheme of things, that's not going to matter. Over time, we're going to see, as we graph the patterns that we want. But I guess I'm saying, don't be too stressed about was that word right or was that a deviation. Just kind of, it's more about the process. So we would take, let's see, however far he had gotten, and let's say maybe like in there. Yeah. And then depending on time, I could have him count up the words. Where we were doing it, we were cycling kids through as quickly as we could, so we would, just the teachers or the instructors would grab the calculators and quick add up how many words are possible that he could have read correctly. And you take the deviations from print, however many you had, and subtract that from it to find out how many words actually were correct, and divide the words, and I'm going to put this over here. To find the words per minute correct, you take your total words, subtract the deviations, and to find your accuracy, you take those words that were correct and divide those by the total words read. And then you chart them, and there's some forms in the back. Oh, do you have yours? Mm-hmm. Okay, why don't we show yours? They can be charted then on one of these forms. Let's just put it right here. You have yours in the back of your binder. The blue is for the cold read accuracy, and if you'll notice, accuracy is on the bottom, and there's darker lines that show you if the student is in the correct text that you want them to be in. If it's difficult enough that they're making progress, but it's not so difficult that they're becoming frustrated and shutting down, they're going to be in between that the middle section there, and which it looks like Justin is. But I'm noticing on he's having more and more that are going up above that 97 percentile, and that's the pattern you're looking for. Once that accuracy starts to shoot up, then it would be time to look at maybe moving them into some harder material, because if they're that accurate, then working with this is not helping them to progress any. All right, so that would be the charting. Then also you can chart their words per minute on the upper section in blue. I had heard one person commented yesterday that they have a student that likes a particular sports team, so instead of blue and red, they had gone with whatever colors. As long as you can tell what you can, which one graph will be lower than the other, so you'll be able to tell. Okay, so that was the charting.